Oh, by Jove, I'm here. Hello. Hello, anybody? Anybody out there? Oh, rat row. Oh, there's one person. There is one person. And there's two. I don't have chat yet. I am so sorry that I am late, everybody. Uh, it could not be helped. And so I did put a little notice in the discussion, because when you're below 1,000 subscribers, you don't have a community board. Instead, you have a discussion post. So I did put a little notice in there that said I was running late, but I don't think anybody actually saw it. Hello. I don't have any chat yet. So, oh, hello, Shannon. Good morning. Are you sneaking away from church? And it is so lovely to see you. I'm going to move the camera down just a bit. Hello to the people who are lurking. Um, yes, you are. You are. She's well. Don't get caught. Don't get caught at church talking on the computer. Anyway, how is everybody? I hope that everyone had a wonderful week. Um, I've been making videos. I made another one that I rendered last night, but I'm going to post it sometime later. And I am really terrific, Shannon. Well, that's actually that's probably a stretch of the truth, but I am good. I am very good. Uh, you know, I've just been keeping some odd hours, and I haven't been on social media very much. I just needed a little bit of sort of time to myself, I guess. And hello, Barb. Lovely to see you. And well, thank you. I I miss you too, actually. And I know that Shara is also on her way home. I've been following the Instagram posts. I know how sad she is to be leaving her grandkids back there in New Zealand and returning home. It's breaking her heart. Hello, Nana, and hello, Michelle. And I was just saying that I did put a little notice that I was going to be late today in the discussion section. I always try and do that, but most people don't even know that that is there on a channel. But if you look in the top section where some of the bigger channels have the community tab, where they can communicate back and forth, the little channels like me have a discussion tab, so I can post notices and schedule changes and things like that. So I did try to let everybody know that I was going to be late today. And oh, I'll bet, Shannon, I'll bet she is heartbroken. It has got to be, not only, with the new baby coming early like she did, but, now having to leave all three of them, it's got to be terrible. Um, yeah, Jude, most people don't. And, mostly because most of us never think to look for them. I always, when I look for the ones on Sammy's channel, about a half hour after she doesn't come on. So that's the only reason I know they're there. Um, and hello to everybody coming in, and and I know you were, and thank you for messaging me, Nana. And one of the things that I love about both my Facebook presence and now my YouTube presence is that I can't actually disappear. And that is a very good feeling because people actually will, they'll come in and they'll find you and they'll say, hey, where are you? And anyway, so imagine that we're going to cover in 40 fan favorites, sense of theme here. And I thought that we would cover this one. I did do a video that I rendered last night. It hasn't gone up yet. And it is basically straight coloring with a just a set of water-based markers. And, I realized, and I discussed this with my friend Anne over at A Colorful Life, that I was doing an awful lot of technique videos, but they weren't very fun. I mean, from a just color and visit. So I thought I'd just do a little straight coloring in this book with the CLAart markers and maybe zhuzh them up with a little glitter goo that I have collected and go from there. And oh, thank you, Nana. Uh, and once again, that was more concentrating on the technique. And that is wonderful, but not everybody wants to color like that. And I, have to put my head around that and say that is perfectly cool. And to be really honest, I color that way a lot too, which is to just color. And here's a perfect example of that. This is one that I did with just markers. I mean, just water-based markers. And I think it's beautiful. And it's just straight coloring, just literally filling in the spaces with color. And I think that it is important that you guys know that as an artist, I appreciate straight coloring as much as I appreciate the ones that have the beautiful results. That not, and I don't mean to, you know what I mean, right? The ones that make you go, oh wow, for their technique. Whereas I love this one because this one makes me go, oh wow, because I love the way that these colors came together. And so, um, Elizabeth, thank you. Uh, Thank you. And I don't either. I try not to make them boring, which is why I watch them back and I watch the feedback and I watch the analytics. I watch where people tune out um, because I care about the product that I bring you. And anyway, and hello, lovely Louise. It is so wonderful to see you there. And absolutely. Absolutely, Shannon. And here's the deal. When you do straight coloring, if you've lost your coloring mojo, that is a great way to get it back, is to just straight color. So, y'all know that, oh, Melinda, no worries. No worries, honey. I'm the one that's late. I just came on. And actually, no. The one, night, Nika, I want to call you Caroline, but that just confuses people. Um, Nika, this is in Flower Inspirations, and I did not put this in 40 fan favorites. I don't think. I did put one of that series in, but it will probably be in 40 fan favorites too. Let me see. Flower Inspirations was the second book. No, I don't think so. No, I did not. So, but it also is available as a standalone in my Etsy shop. So anyway, so thank you, Nika. I wasn't fishing for that compliment, but thank you very much. So what is going on out there in Streamland? Anything cool that I should look at? I'm going to use, weirdly enough, I'm going to use Flesh and Light Orange on this center flower. So let me find my R101, which is this one, and my Y903. Y903. Yay. And we'll just chat. The Victorian, with Laura's image. Okay, cool. Is that a new image or one from Circle Portraits? And I love what Vicky is doing. I didn't even know about Vicky, and but I started watching her videos recently. Oops, and I really like her. And okay, she gave it for an event last night. Okay, good. She is wonderful that way. Of course, we all do that, but it's nice when it's nice when an artist does it. She does people mostly, which is why I never get in there, because I don't really color people. It isn't that I don't think I could color people. It's that I just personally, I don't have any interest in coloring people. But I love the portraits. Does that? I don't mean it. That I love to see it done. I just don't like to do it. That's what I mean. Anyway, once again, everybody, I am sorry that I am late today. I have been keeping some very odd hours here in my studio, and just in life in general. So I love to look at it, Jude. I really do, and I love like when Sammy colors it, or all of the other, or Dee Dee, or something like that. When I see even Anne, to a certain extent, when she does the Chibi Girls, or the kawaii, or the pop manga, or anything like that, I love to see it done. I just, for some reason, I just have a more of an interest in design than I do in coloring portraiture. So, and that's just me personally. Maybe it's because I just don't, I don't know. I've never been drawn to drawing people. So I'm hoping that this works, because what I want to do is just take this one a shade lighter than the center one. Let's see if that works. And fantasy, yes. I almost, and I may do this for Guest Artist Sunday, which is next week. Normally I will do one of my fellow self-published artists, like Rob Roscom, or Tatiana Bogima or um, Christina McAllister or all of the others. But I thought maybe next week I might do a picture in this. Or maybe I'll just do videos about it. Um, do you know that other than starting this page, I have not colored in this? And I love my Drum and Banger. If I had to pick of all the artists, Kirby and oh, I'm so sorry. I don't even have an excuse except that the humidity is up again, so the windows are all closed. And that hard not to with the you do some epic coloring, Nana. You really do. And you take some hard pictures. My goodness. Those look like they would be a real challenge to color. And I love all you guys who've been coloring my dragons. Thank you so much for that. Now, see, I love the dragons. I've got to draw more. I thought that I only had about 8 pages for my next book. Turns out I have 16. So that's good. That puts me much closer and able to breathe a sigh of relief that I just might make it for a Christmas release. Okay. Well, that could use some more bumping up somewhere. But let's just play it by ear. And yeah, that'll work. 204. This is a what is this? This is a blue. This is 204. B204. I do love my Callies. I do. Um, I resisted as long as I could, and then we'll just call her Enabler Melinda. Enabler Melinda enabled me right into being able to fall in love with the Callie arts. I've always liked the way that the oranges looked with the with the blues. However, I am not being very neat at going around those little. Oh, Nana, congratulations. That's wonderful. And I think that is a great idea because your writings help a lot of people. You should know that. You go deep and I mean that's good stuff, my dear. It is very good stuff. And for those of you who are scratching your heads, follow Nanamo2 on Instagram, and you'll know what I mean. And excuse me. And so Well, see, there you go. There you go. Opposites on the color wheel, exactly. The oranges and the orange and the blues. Although this is more of a peachy orange, but nonetheless, yes, they are opposites and therefore complementary on the color wheel. Oh no, that sound is the sound of family photographs coming through. My nephews are actually, actually, I think it is the nephews are worse about it than the nieces about posting all the. And I don't mean worse. I mean better, actually. Um, but they post something about the kids every day, about my little great nephews and grand nieces, and who are all adorable and just growing like weeds. My gosh, kids grow up fast. Oh my goodness. And and well, I only know, those tiny bits of your story, Nana, that I've been able to sort of piece together from the things that you've said. But yeah, it sounds like you've come an awfully long way. And congrats to you. Because, there's a lot of people out there who aren't willing to do the work. Uh, yes, actually, but they're girls. Mostly they're girls. There's actually two boys. I am shocked. My dad had three girls, and his three girls had between them only two children because neither my sister Diana nor I ever had any children. So only my older sister has kids, and they now have, between the two of them, they have four. I think there's four. One has one, and the other one has three. So far, we're keeping the numbers even. And yes, I agree. Everything is adorable, Shannon. But those pictures that Shara has posted on her Instagram recently of all three kids together, oh my goodness. It's just a beautiful family, you know, handsome kids. You can obviously tell that Cheryl was in her element being grandma. And and I know it's going to be really hard on her being back. Do you ever get afraid, Shannon, that she's just going to apply for New Zealand citizenship and go? Hopefully not. But I know that isn't her son down there as well? So she's got a daughter and a son on the other side of the world. Yeah. Oh well. I won't say a word. I just know that New Zealand is gorgeous. Of course, the United States is gorgeous too. So, you know, I guess New Zealand is gorgeous in that rugged, unknown kind of way. We feel like we know the United States, but okay, now I need some green. What color green should I go with? I think I'm going to go with a grass green, G15. Just keeping it simple. That's G915. G515. Ah, there it is. If it were a snake, it would have jumped out and bit me. Bitten me? Ow, ow, it bited me. It is swoon worthy. I agree. I absolutely agree. Of course, the Australian accent, I mean, not that New Zealand is, people, think of New Zealand as sort of being part of Australia, but it's really not. Completely separate country, separate culture. Absolutely. Absolutely, Nana. That's very true. Home is where the heart is. That's why so many people were able to, kind of get up and immigrate with their entire families. As long as they had their family or they had their hope of getting their family with them, they were able to, they were able to be happy. I guess I'm forgetting the stems. One should have stems. So, thank you, Jill. And hi, Jill. And welcome to anybody who has come in that I have missed. Um, I apologize for the late start today. Um, like I said, I don't have a really good excuse. Other than the fact that I woke up, it was already 1:30. I did have a really restless sleep, so that did not help at all. And I was a little unclear as to whether or not I was going to be able to get my voice to work, but it seems to, um, you know, it seems to work again. So, well, Nana, I'm not sure. And I don't know. For those of us who battle depression, and like I say, I choose to use my life circumstances as my treatment as opposed to go the medication route. I probably could, but part of it is the fact that I was brought up in the arms of AA, with my dad being a sober alcoholic, and so there is this huge part of my brain that just does not want to, accept better living through chemicals. And because of that, I do occasionally go bouts where I wouldn't say that it's a bout of depression, but it's a bout of I would rather sleep than do anything else, which is in fact a symptom of depression. So, and that really is all tied to that whole, mess that happened this summer and all of that. It just reaches out and grabs me at these weird times. So, uh-oh. Wait, okay. I was going to say, I'm losing gaps. All right, now I want a purple. So, do I want a heavy duty purple or a light purple? And I'm thinking that I'm going to start with this mauve color here and maybe I could also try a pink with a blue overlay, but I'd have to do some experimenting. One of the things about markers, especially, is they're always light on the purples. There's never any really good purples. And I think that, like greens, there's a whole lot more in the box, but you have to experiment with overlaying your different blues over your yellows, and all of that. And I haven't done any of that. So I'm just going to go with R702 and call it good. R702, which is a pretty purple and is eluding me. Jump out of the box, please. R702. Well, what color is that? Oh, what is... Ooh, yay. There's a sound I love. Thank you to the person who has just purchased something in my Etsy shop. And for those of you who think that is mercenary, I apologize, but girls got to eat. You know what I mean? Actually, I'm going to go with hyacinth because I can find it. So we'll go with hyacinth, and it's probably the better color choice anyway. Oh yeah, yeah, that's a good choice. Yeah, Melinda, I do hope that you got yourself a set of these because I'll tell you what, I just love them, and every time I use them, I just think, thank you, Melinda. These are so cool, and because Melinda sent them to me, this was a very kind gift from her, and Anne enabled them by telling me that they were on sale that day. So I just love her. As a matter of fact, I need to check with her. Has anybody seen an update on her fall? I did not see an update. Hello, Heather. Lovely to see you. And hello, Andrea, and and anybody else who has come in. Oh, I am sorry, Louise. I hope that you feel better and out. Feeling a little fragile. Is that code for I'm hungover, Louise? Been there, done that. I hope you feel better soon. Aspirin and water. Aspirin and water, and and that helps. Yeah. I apologize if I remember correctly. That helps. And oh my goodness, trying to remember back to my last hangover. Oh, I think it was a red wine hangover, and those are always the worst, at least for me. Pounding head, queasy stomach. Oh, but the absolute worst hangover in the world. Has anybody ever had a Jägermeister hangover? That sucker will make you want to die. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you for that update. I have not seen that update, and which gives you an idea of exactly how far out of it I have actually been. So thank you for letting us know that, Melinda. Oh my goodness. Oh, yeah. See, now that would exacerbate the headache, Louise. And oh, yeah, honey. Definitely some aspirin and hopefully uh, no mixing of antibiotics with that alcohol, though. That's not good. But sometimes you just, oh, I like this color. I like this color. Okay, I take it back about the hyacinth. I like the hyacinth, and I really like the way it's working with or playing with these other two colors. Allergic to antibiotics. Oh, wow. Okay, that would be a drag. So, what if you get an infection, you have to rely on your immune system? Well, that's one way to keep a strong immune system. You'll be the only human being left that isn't immune to every antibiotic on the planet. Thank you. I love these colors too. This is just totally accidental, and but it's working. Plus, I'm finding that I'm really, truly enjoying straight coloring, just filling in the spaces. And here I thought I had to be all fancy schmancy for you. Oh, okay, amoxicillin. Hmm. That's the one that in for little kids, they make it in like bubblegum flavor, if I remember correctly. All right, I want this dark cerulean blue for the outer edges of that. So what is that, 205? Oh, that's a pretty color. Let's try that. Yeah, that'll work. It is relaxing. And yes, Heather, I agree. I absolutely agree. It is nice. And I had no idea. I always thought you guys would be bored stiff if I sat here and straight colored on a Sunday show, but I'm liking it. Heather, that dino that you are working on is absolutely incredible. I've been following along, and the detail and all of that is just fabulous. Oh yeah, okay. Now I get it. Yes, there are a lot of people that are allergic to penicillin. Relax and enjoy. Jill, there are some days when that is really hard for me. It's like I'm always waiting for another shoe to drop. What crisis do I have to deal with today? And then I hear my dad's voice in my head that says, "It's your life, deal with it." Uh, okay. I am really liking this. I'm liking the way um, absolutely. Oh, Heather, Jill, yeah, absolutely. Good in every. There is good in every day, and there's a silver lining in every situation as well. That much I do know. And I know that because I just keep seeing it. It just, we had um, oh, okay. I'm really happy with that. I don't know if you guys, if the color is holding true on that for you on the camera, but it is really pretty from here. And yeah, that is definitely an allergic sign. Whoops, it doesn't work if you just move the cap from one end to the other. I love these double caps. Get me every time. Okay, so now I kind of want to work these colors, but I do want to add a fourth one in. So we've got the oranges and the blues and the purples. Kind of want a gold of some kind. So let's try the pastel yellow. And the yellow. Or maybe the pastel yellow. Well, one way or another, I'm going to go with the 204. So how far I go with it is remains to be seen. Yeah. Okay. And I do have a plastic sheet underneath. Oh, and I do want to, Morticia was going to, she was going to do an experiment. I had mentioned in one of my videos this week, I wondered what would happen if you filled a old water brush with alcohol and used it with Inktense. Would it make your Inktense act more like an alcohol marker? Would it work at all? Uh, and she said she had an old water brush and she was going to try it. And so I don't know how it came out, but I think I've got a message from her. Eek. Wow, thank you for all the thumbs up. That is so terrific. Hi, Libby. Yay, I'm glad to see you. Okay. I like the gold. Yeah. You tried with sparkle ink and Inktense and it didn't dissolve enough. Okay. Um, Now, I have heard, Heather, that there is Winsor & Newton puts out an iridescent medium, and I think it's water-based. And I've seen videos on it mixed with watercolors, but I wonder if it would mix on a palette with Inktense. And yeah, I think the gold works. And I like the white because I always try to remember that white is a color too. Um, and it's a good contrast color. So I may leave that white in there. And I'm just going to try and figure out what to do. So if I use that yellow, then what color to do this ring? And I think that I might make it a more orangish orange. So we've got that. I wonder if I use the salmon because it's right along the same lines, but it's like a step darker than the light orange that I picked. Let's try that. Let's try Y713. Y713. Do. I feel like I've got this. I've got my uh, CLAarts propped up on my stapler so that I can see them. 713. All right, jump out, guys. Where are you? Y713. See, what that tells me is that it's got a more red looking cap. Y713. Okay. It is a big snake. It is living in this case. And there it is. So we'll try this and see if it works. For a color. And I apologize. Thank you, Deb, and good to see you. And all the other people that have arrived and are here and are lurking. Thank you so much for being here. And I cannot believe that I missed so many streams this week. And hopefully I will do better this coming week. On the other hand, I do new videos and new drawings to show for it. So just doing some straight coloring in 40 fan favorites today. Turning off the brain and just coloring. Concentrating on filling in the spaces with colors. Colorathon theme Spooktober. Oh, good. See, now there's also Inktober, which I will be doing. Now, I actually drew my first book during Inktober in 2015, or at least like most of it. And I've tried to do, I do a few drawings for it every year, but I haven't been very good at keeping up with doing it all, all 31 days. That's a lot. But that's the idea. The idea of Inktober is to get you drawing every day. And I imagine that the same thing could be applied to coloring. Excuse me. Color something every day. I do. I do, yes. Oh, goodness. So last night I was watching PBS, and they had in my area, and I don't know if this is true everywhere, but PBS has started to have a classic movie on Saturday nights. And Witness with Harrison Ford and Kelly Gillis has made it to the list now. Of course, I have a tough time thinking of Witness as being a classic movie because to me it just came out, a few years ago. And it's the one where a little Amish boy witnesses a crime, and in order to protect him, Harrison Ford's character goes to live with the Amish. And well, actually, in protecting the little boy, he's hurt, and they nurse him back to health, basically. But they got to the point last night where the bad guys had shown up, and I found I had to turn it off because it's just such a peaceful movie, and it's just really delightful, and And they introduce all of that violence into it. I do believe they meant it to be that way, to juxtapose that reality against what peaceful living looks like. But the older I get, the less tolerance I have for ridiculous, needless violence like that. I'd much rather watch Star Trek. Distress inks work over alcohol markers. Not sure about water-based markers. Yeah, they would probably work over water-based markers because distress inks are themselves water-based. And yeah, I agree, Heather. It could be hard because they both move. Speaking of which, I'll show you the uh, and and there is I can actually prove all of what Heather just said. This is the one that I worked on last night. And let me back out the camera just a tad. Oh, wow. Looks like I only have 2 zooms. I have to work on that. Okay. This is what I did last night. Now, I did this background with Distress ink, and it was way too bright. And then when that worked, I used little white dots, with calligraphy ink that was water-based, and that worked. And then I took a baby wipe and some white calligraphy ink and really wiped it off. And you can see where I hit the edges with that. But it also lifted the color right up off the page. So ultimately, I ended up a little lighter. I was really going for more this color back here, but this is the one I did last night, and that's just water-based markers. So I've been practicing my straight coloring skills, and I'm doing all of the pages in this book with this same kind of white polka dotted background. So, doing them with distress inks, and so it's like a theme. And I'm realizing that page is damp. That page is actually still damp. So I'm going to open that book and leave it open, let that page dry out. I didn't realize that was going on. All right, I am liking that color too. So far, we're making really either it's the design or we're just making really good color choices. I'm not sure which. I know I'd like to think it's the design, but I think it's just the color choices. Okay, so now we need a nice dark contrasting. I'm going to go with 906, which is the Rouge Orange. 906. There it is. It's both, obviously. And I just realized that it is essentially, and that is what's so funny. See, now this is why it is essentially this palette kind of all over again. only with slightly different blues. So anyway, I just think that's funny. It just goes to prove that your mind, it sees things and it holds on to things. Okay. So I just wanted something slightly darker for these little doohickeys out here. This is why my Mandalas book is popular, is because it allows you to just do stuff like fill in the colors, and it's why mandalas in general are the go-to for calm coloring. When you need to color for anxiety, a mandala is the perfect choice. Even if you don't like them, it's hard not to get to a Zen place when you're coloring a mandala. Salazar, no. The CLAarts do not come with a brush tip marker or a brush tip. These come with a fine point and a chisel tip. Now, obviously, there are several brands of markers out there that do have a brush tip, but the CLAarts are not one of them. Deb, yeah. And no calls to your best friend to help you bury the body. Oh, that's funny. No bodies in the backyard. Yeah, there are lots of brands out there that do brush tip. I like the brush tip. I have a brush tip on my on some of my microns, and I like it for doing many different things, but coloring is not one of them. Whoops. There we go. That's better. I played with my camera controls again and I messed them up, so I'm sort of finding workarounds for it today. All right. So a little flaming. I think I'm going to go with the blue again. Only this time maybe the dark blue straight away, as opposed to the light blue. Well, that's not it. What is this blue? And how did I end up with it? I don't know. I don't hate it. Let's try it. Since we've already done one, we might as well. What color is this? And how come I have it out? B118. Ooh, that's the ultramarine. Really? Oh, no, that is not what I want. We could do that, but let's do it with the Indian blue. B227. B227. That's better. This is the next darker It's always best not to have bodies accumulating in the backyard. uh, I don't know. There may be a reason why I turned my backyard into a bird sanctuary. Just kidding, everybody. There are no bodies buried in my backyard that I know of. Okay, that's a little bit better, maybe. I have to wait and see how that dries. Gee, that's a Nana, I do too, actually. I do. I actually do too. Feel like I'm cheating on my pencils or my ink tens. Although, see, I don't know. I don't want to say that maybe I've used ink tens too many times just recently. I love them so much, but after the mice, I was just ready to do some straight coloring. Did you all like the way the mouse pair turned out? I do adore my ink tens. I am having a love affair with the CLAlyards. I adore my ink tens. I love my pencils. Uh, what can I say? I just love everything about art. And then, of course, I've been watching these wonderful videos of doing things like um, changing junk mail into something useful, uh, like junk journals. And I have, but then of course, my brain starts going to the ephemera side of that equation. And it's like, no, 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 no. I absolutely do not want to start collecting all of, every pretty little thing that I see, thinking that I'm going to use it somewhere in making art. And I need to stick to one art at a time. And for me, it is coloring and drying, and I sew and I knit and I crochet. So I have plenty of things. Oh, I did finally order House of Leaves. I found it. It was a little pricey. Brand new. It's House of Leaves is a book. Um, Brand new. It was 17 something, but apparently somebody donated a bunch of copies to the Goodwill, and so the Goodwill of Greater DC was selling it for $9 and change. So I ordered a copy and it'll be here next week sometime. Yay! It's a book that I saw over on Monkey Island Madness. Janet, she does art and crafting. She's one of Dee Dee's mods. You know that I've been away from YouTube when I haven't even been watching my favorite Fiona acrylic pour videos. Heather, thank you. And you enjoy the rest of your weekend too. And thank you very, very much for being here. And I will try and get into one of your streams early this week. And I'm going to try and be much better about getting to streams this week too, just so I can say hi to everybody. And I can't base coloring, I crochet. Yeah, Jude, yeah, when if a task that you're working on that's supposed to be pleasurable starts to feel like a chore, then is a good time to take a break and do something else. I realized the other day that I was doing so much coloring that I wasn't doing any reading at all. And I don't have a YouTube channel for monetary, to monetize it. I use my YouTube channel because I want to get my art out in front of as many eyes as possible. Uh, I've said it a gajillion times, and I'll say it a gajillion more. My goal is to show people my art and not the gifts, not the tip jar donations or super chats or anything like that. It's all about publicity for me. And hopefully you like me and you like the stuff I draw. Um, but there are some days when it feels like a job. And on those days, I go do something like read. And then when I come back to it, it is once again fun because I love what I do. I love to draw. I love to show people my art. I love to color it for people. Um, I love to see what they've colored, whether it's something I draw or not. This might not have been the best choice of colors for this, but I said that early on as well. See if we can't make it happen. I agree, Nanimo, and there's so many people that don't. There's so many people that that work in jobs just simply for the paycheck, and they don't get, I think, maybe they get the joy of a job well done, but it doesn't ignite their passion. And I think everybody should have that, a job that ignites their passion, no matter what it is. If you cook burgers for a living, make them the best burgers you can make. Uh, if you sweep sidewalks, make them the most pristine crystalline sidewalks on the block. Enjoy what you do and and engage in a job well done, and you'll always be happy. Or at least the outer ring, the outer rings. Uh, Deb, you mean? What if we did this? What if we changed it? from that color to this color. Because I agree with you. It needed a tie-in. Oh, that works. Yeah, okay. Good eye. Good eye and good suggestion. See? And we communicated that to each other, and we didn't even have to think about it. I knew exactly what she meant. Thank you, Deb. Uh-oh, I got a little carried away on that one. That's okay. Mistakes are allowed. All right, I'll get back to that in just a second. I realize that I am now over my time. We do not mean to, when I'm making up a voice in my head, the YouTube voice that says, I'm not sure you understand, Miss Aldridge, but you have exceeded your allotted time. Uh, I agree, and it was bugging me too. And I would have gotten there, I think, in deciding that was a good choice. But thank you for suggesting it. That's just one less thing that I have to think about today. uh, let's go back to here. We'll get it done. And I don't want to actually. I keep wanting to make room to try and encourage the modernist colorist to come back, but he will when he is ready, I am sure. And who knows, it may be in an entirely different time slot on an entirely different day. I am so jealous, though, of all of the folks that get to go to the Creative Haven event in Bath and meet all those different people. That is going to be such a cool event. So all of you folks across the pond who are able to go to that, yay. And I also saw that, and I'm going to wrap up here in just a second. I also saw that uh, Joanna Basford, is that right? Joanna Basford is, and I don't know if it's a free thing or if it's a cost thing, but she'll actually teach you to draw, which I just think is hilarious. She is such a sweet lady, and she says, she's not the greatest artist in the world, but she has found a very clever way to draw, and she is going to show us all how she does it. And I've said that I'm not, I'm certainly not a fine portraiture artist or somebody with the experience that Aditi Willingham has, let's say. But I get by, and I think I draw beautifully pleasing art. And so it just made me smile that Joanna Basford actually admits that, and I don't know, made her more human to me. And setting aside the fact that the woman has sold 25 million books, so she's obviously doing something really right. And anyway, so on that note, and with a little bit of fun, I do hope that you all have a absolutely incredibly wonderful and fantastic week coming up, and that you have a uh, wonderful good night's sleep tonight, and all of that kind of good stuff. And until we meet again next Sunday, and in the videos and in the chats in between, please color something pretty. And thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here.